Welcome to the Coins and Connections podcast with me, Cinquanta Cox-Smith. We're talking books, business, and of course, a little bit of bullshit. If you're looking for inspiration, motivation, or just a good time, you've come to the right place. Ready, set, let's go! Hey guys, welcome back to the Coins and Connections podcast, episode 226. Now, I know y'all love a video podcast, but this ain't it. I'm tired. I really wanted to do it. Let me tell y'all, I sat down, I recorded the video. It was a different episode for 226. And it took me forever to record it and set it up right. It was going to take me forever to edit it. And that was January, maybe the end of January. Y'all, it just didn't happen. And you know how I feel if it's not, time. If it's not giving me the time and flexibility I need to get other things done, if I am wrecking my brain for hours trying to upload, edit, and all of this, it's not worth it to me. I've been talking to myself on YouTube for a long time. I've been talking to myself for a long time on this podcast. And I've also been talking to myself for a while on Threads. So y'all could have had a newsletter and a podcast episode last week, but I was like, no, video podcasts are coming back. Let me, it. So I'm going to stick to my plan. Every time I try something different, it just does not work out. So we're not going to do that. So I know y'all love it, but this ain't that. And again, the premises of this whole episode is I'm reminding myself who the fuck I am. That is my new manifestation quote, because y'all like abuse. Y'all like people to be abusive to y'all and not helpful. So I have decided that I will be abusive in the way I speak to you guys, right? So y'all better go buy some digital courses. I'm rebranding everything. Y'all better go subscribe to the Substack so you can get your life together every week while I'm sending these emails. I'm crafting them. I'm adding resources. They're scheduled out till May. Go join the Substack. Make sure your notifications are on YouTube. Make sure your notifications are on the podcast. And if you know me in real life, don't really follow me on Threads, okay? I want the Threads for the strangers, all right? They love me there. And when you know people, we're going to talk about this. Y'all just don't do right. Y'all don't support for real, okay? And I don't measure the love that you have for me in support. And I hope you don't measure the love I have for you and support on how I show it on social media, okay? If we check in each other in real life or checking on each other or, doing stuff offline, that is what I feel. Now, all that other stuff, y'all can leave that on social media and the internet because it's truly ruining y'all life, okay? If you want to know how I feel about you, ask me. Don't ask the internet. So, as we're getting into this episode, I decided that, again, I'm reminding myself of who the fuck I am. I have 225 episodes on the podcast, right? So why can't I learn something from myself? I decided that I was going to binge my own podcast, right? I binge Netflix series. I'm binging one right now. Cassandra, if you've seen it, let me know. I'm also binging Paradise because I had to watch the first 5 episodes after y'all talked about it for weeks. But me and my husband just didn't have time to sit down to watch it together. Busy, right? I joined HotWorks. That's just throw that in there. It's a sauna where you can work out and all that good stuff. All right, back to the regular schedule program. I am a hoot. So I just want to run down some funny notes, some little notes and things that I realized after listening to the first 5 episodes of my podcast. My podcast aired in 2019, my birthday in January, but I had started recording in October of 2018. So this is how far back this goes. And I just want you guys to know that I teach from a level and a point of view of somebody who doesn't know anything. And I teach it to the point where a 5th grader could understand it. My content that I produced for the past 6-7 years is still relevant today. And I want you to understand why. It's because of the way I teach. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just teaching from a perspective of someone who has no clue what I'm talking about. But by the time you look at the first video in the beginning, you can gain an understanding and you can quickly produce something, create something within 7 days, and sometimes within 24 hours. So again, I'm reminding myself of who the fuck I am, all right? Also, the only thing that might change with my content is the software. So Shopify may not look the same as it did 5 years ago. But as long as those buttons are there and they kind of still do the same thing, you can still follow along with any of my older videos, right? The only thing I'm telling y'all, the only information that will change is AI stuff and how the software has changed, maybe their uploading process. But once you get into something and you see it, it's too easy. And changing and growing is just something we have to deal with. So let's go ahead and recap these 5 episodes and what I wrote down from them. So episode 1 was The Bullshit Begins. One of the funniest things that I used to say was come on in the room. And then I referred to myself as the helping ministry. I was just helping y'all get y'all life together, snatch these coins, okay? One of the quotes that I did in that episode was, I work harder than the average, and that is true. Episode 2, the breakdown. I talked a lot about how I can help you make money, and then also not continuing to do stuff that I'm not passionate about. I also talked about faceless business in 2018, but y'all didn't listen. Created a whole Shopify case study on how to start and create your own faceless business, but nobody was checking for that. Now everybody want to faceless this, faceless that. Okay, that's too much. So one of the things that I did say in that podcast episode was, when you don't have a face and don't have a name, they love you even more. Sometimes people support you more when they don't know who you are. I also talked about in the first couple of months of my side hustle, which was Coins and Connections, I made about $1,500. And then that first year, I think I cleared about $5,000. Then that side hustle, which should have been a hobby, ended up becoming full time, and it wrecked my nerve. Episode 3 was all about the book hustle. I talked about how to self-publish for under $100. That book is one of my pride and joy till this day. So much information in there that I didn't know when I first started self-publishing. So I wanted to make sure that I reached back and help you all be able to self-publish as well. I also talked about different income streams when it comes to the book business. Episode 4, I talked a little bit about the book hustle. Nothing really striking stood out to me other than talking about one of my favorite quotes, inspiring everyone to live their dreams. And I still live by that, okay? Episode 5 is called Back to the Bullshit. And I talked a lot about hustle and feelings and how they do not mix. I was very insistent on how providing services are ghetto and learning how to serve people on my terms. I also made a very clear statement letting people know that my success is not your failure. Just because I succeeded does not mean that you failed, okay? Also, when I'm doing something and you pay me, I will refund that money if I'm not checking for what you putting down. You ain't gonna disrespect me. You ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. I'll give you that money back. So I will refund that money. Ask about me. Also, I think I cursed myself out on this one because I said I was bullshitting on my own boundaries. Wow. Talk about reading yourself down. That's when you know you're self-aware, all right? So I also went into a little bit about saving people thinking I was supposed to save them. And I think I responded like, I am too busy saving my damn self. And then I honed in really deeply on the lack of creativity that we have out there, okay? Because there was a lot of people who kept saying that I inspired them, and then they went into the same exact niche as me, and then basically damn near copied my business, right? It was a lot of that. So inspiration, in fact, is not infatuation. I don't want that. Get that off of me. I don't want that. But I wanted to come on with the podcast episode because I owed y'all one, and I'm going to re-release a video. So I am working smarter and not harder. Y'all gonna get this old content in a new way. And that's that. Okay. Let's agree to disagree. I have so much content that just needs to be put in front of a fresh new audience. And that is what I'm going to do. So even if you're in my older audience, feel free to go back and rewatch the old stuff so you can get a sense of the hustle or the mindset that you want to be in so you can succeed and so you can snatch these coins, okay? So until next time, I love you guys. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to the Coins and Connections podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time.